four, I have fours reappear, patterns that appear. You can also think too, Libra, destiny numbers, life path numbers. You can think about the address where you live in. Maybe the certain names, could be a name, human names, location names. Maybe they go down to a vibration of 4. The person who's, I'm not going to say miserly, Libra, feel like they can't afford it. They can't afford being generous, Libra. They can't afford extending themselves, Libra. They can't afford showing weakness, Libra. The person who's watching you, perhaps they could give more, Libra, but they don't want to give anything, Libra. They don't want to put themselves any more in a vulnerable position than perhaps what they once experienced, Libra. Or perhaps they feel like right now, Libra, they are in a vulnerable position themselves and they don't want you to know about it. This person, Libra, see reality as they should. Of course, 4 of Swords is Libra. 7 of Cups with these, something's off with how this person, I'm not going to say quite victim mentality, but this person definitely has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Things are not quite as severe as they think they are. I guess the quality is just the way it is up in the mountains. Oh well. The 2 4s that I have, if you want to walk away and just listen, it's a 4 of Swords and a 4 of Pentacles. Then we have some 7 of Cups, King of Pentacles, Page of Cups energy. All of this is very frugal, tight, conservative. Here's someone too who doesn't want to show their weakness and still appear in a position of strength. Thank you for the likes. If anyone would like a personal reading, you could have that at the end of the collective reading. I would ask for a donation of $33, however, if you're interested. And if you are interested, you can find those details on my channel page and let me know while I'm still around. Anyway, this is a collective reading for Libra, so I invite you to see what comes up. So, 4 of Pentacles, Libra, of who's watching you. Judgment. Ace of Pentacles, Libra, do you know somebody with some significant Capricorn energy? 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles are both Capricorn energies. Maybe in this energy too, Libra, this person would have Capricorn. Well, this person is being very withdrawn. So we could definitely say 8th house, 12th house. I feel like the social houses would also apply. And if there's any sort of, let's put it this way, Libra, where they're being affected would be where those Capricorn placements are. Maybe they're just affected right now, debilitated in how they communicate. So it could be their Mercury and their, what's the house of communication? Second house? Maybe they are afflicted in matters of the heart. So that could be 7th house Venus energy, things like that. But I'm going to say this Capricorn energy is where they're being tight and stingy and a bit unfair to you. Libra, the person who's watching you is someone who's known to you. And I definitely would, if you think you have an idea of who they are, take a look at if they have Capricorn placements. And I just noticed I went offline. Now I have to wonder, hello, where did I... This is like funny. I could do this in the afternoon when I'm out and about. Maybe I will. Libra, where did I jump off from? I forgot. I wasn't even looking at my screen. I guess I could start over again, Libra. If I missed anything, I guess it's just up to the ether of the etherness. I was talking about the fours and that you may be dealing with somebody who has Capricorn energy in their chart. I said that the Capricorn energy, Libra, could be in their secretive, it could be in their 8th house or 12th house, but more importantly, Libra, with this Capricorn energy of the person who's watching you, it's where right now they are afflicted, where right now they are debilitated. Thank you, if they have Capricorn placements. Yeah, I was talking, and then I noticed that the thing was cycling. Oh, well. But yes, I think I can go and recap the highlights of whatever I was saying. I wasn't really quite focusing on it. You know, you don't focus on these things, you just channel. Capricorn. So with the person who's watching you in this energy, where their Capricorn placements are, it's where they are right now afflicted, where they are right now debilitated, and it's where they're right now they can't fully come into the beauty and the generosity of what that sign could offer or express towards you. So think about it this way, Libra. If they have Capricorn energy in their house of communication and in their Mercury, the things that should be said, Libra, right now, they're unable to go and express that. If they have Capricorn energy in their 7th house and Venus, how the care and understanding and relationship building that they should be able to express to you, they're debilitated in some way. They're not able to go and really give all of themselves. So I'm going to say that that's why this is someone who's known to you, and I would take a look if you have an idea of who that person is. Check out their Capricorn placements and see with the people who you're thinking of, is that where right now they are not extending themselves towards you as they should. Okay, so that's what that Capricorn placement is, or Capricorn energy. Anyway, Libra, the person who's watching you has no intention, at least for right now, for reaching out. Trying to see if there's any other energies that come up other than fours and Capricorn energy. Here's someone who just finds it very hard to express themselves, Libra, very hard to extend themselves to you. And it's easier for them to be quiet, Libra, and still appear like they are strong, still appear like they are capable, still appear like they are thriving, when, Libra, in fact, this person is trying very hard not to lose what they've already gained, not to slip back from what they already have acquired. You know, Libra, right now, this person is not necessarily in any sort of, I don't want to say, I feel like danger is too strong of a word, but this is like someone, Libra, who, if you think about it like a larder of food, Libra, it's not like necessarily this person has to stop or start rationing. They eat and cut down because there are no resources left. One who's something going down, they anticipate a change that will be affecting them, and they're trying to be conservative before that happens. This person, Libra, the one who's watching you, the one who has withdrawn themselves from you, Libra, this person feels like very soon there's going to be some big changes that are outside of their control. other energies coming up here? Well, we have some, I read my high priestess primarily as Pisces. Sometimes it could also be the other water signs, but primarily it's Pisces. Maybe we have some Virgo here. We have some Scorpio as well. But here's someone who's anticipating a big change coming up, anticipating that they will not things will change for them in a negative, and they're projecting a little bit, Libra, on one hand, but on another hand, they're scared. And that's why, Libra, this person is withdrawing from you, because they don't want to see, they don't want you to see something that they won't be able necessarily to hide. I'm wondering if there's anything more I can say about this energy, Libra, because here's someone who doesn't necessarily want your help, want pity, want constructive conversation or feedback on if what they perceive is actually happening, or advice on how to pull forward. Here's someone who wants to shoulder whatever they're going through alone and keep on having a certain type of image projected. That to them is more preferable, Libra, than letting their situation be known, letting their fears be known, and possibly receiving help. Nothing quite you can do, Libra, if somebody has decided to go about it themselves alone. All right, Libra, that's who's watching you. Libra, if you appreciate my time and energy, do let me know. Do give me a thumbs up. And thank you for the likes. Libra, I will leave this up for a little bit of time. Somehow it looks like the quality got clear again, did it? It did. Oh, well, you know, Libra, I'm up in the mountains of the Northeast, and sometimes the quality is good. Now it's perfect. Look at that. Whatever. Sometimes it is all over the place. Sometimes I guess it just needs 11 minutes to come out perfect, huh? Look at that. I know I have one more sign that I can add on here. Should I do Aquarius? What has it been? Maybe we'll just do Aquarius placements too, because then I'd be all caught up. Why not? So if you have any Aquarius placements, that would be an Aquarius sun, an Aquarius moon, an Aquarius rising. I'll just add it to the title. And Aquarius 8th house, Aquarius 12th house. Aquarius, are you curious on who's watching you? I'm so surprised it got so clear. Does that mean I need to let it sit for 11 minutes every time? And I'll come back on. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's hilarious. Maybe I will let it sit for like 11 minutes. Put up a little intermission sign. We'll start in 11 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 8 minutes. Anyway, so Aquarius. Who's watching Aquarius? Gee, it just got super clear. Anyway, I have a 4 of Swords, Aquarius. I have a 7 of Swords. Of course, 7 of Swords is Aquarian energy. Here's somebody biding their time, Aquarius, before they make moves. They could also be watching you, Aquarius, determine, Aquarius, the next moves they make. Here's someone, Aquarius, who they don't want their energy to be wasted. They want to make the best use of the time, the resources, the attention that they have. Libra energy, is coming up here, Aquarius. Maybe Aquarius, do you have Libra placements? If you have Libra placements, Aquarius, then the person who's watching you is interested in you for the qualities and attributes of where those Libra placements sit. And if this person has Libra placements, they're wondering how much of those qualities do they have to extend openly and honestly to you. Very measured energy, Aquarius. Aquarius, the person who's watching you, definitely intends to start something with you. And they're making sure they can put themselves in the best possible position beforehand. They want to know your motivations, Aquarius. They want to know how you think, Aquarius. Aquarius. Although Aquarius, the person who's watching you, may appear quite uninterested, they're anything but uninterested, Aquarius. 7 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Aquarius, the person who's watching you is someone who knows you. They know you. And gee, Aquarius, if you have not been in contact with this person for a very long time, long enough, Aquarius, for you to grow into an entirely different person, for them, Aquarius, to become an entirely different person. Both of you now, Aquarius, are essentially strangers. The person who's watching you, Aquarius, now is good. I don't know quite what way they're good, Aquarius, but this person now is good. This person now, Aquarius, is self-confident. This person now, Aquarius, actually feels good about themselves. Maybe they feel good about themselves because they're loved. Could be. This King of Cups in this energy, Aquarius, could be somebody who now finally feels appreciated, not conditionally, but unconditionally. And because of that, they feel confident. Could also be Aquarius in this energy. This person now is able to feel confident, have self-love about them, regardless of what's going on externally. Now, something about their core, overall, something about their core has been maturated, has grown, has a benefit. Anyway, this person has good self-confidence. As I said, I don't know whether it's because this person has realized that they don't need to meet other people's expectations to be loved, or this person has experienced that sort of love from another. Doesn't have to be romantic in this energy. With that King of Pentacles here, this person is stable. This person is not seeking external validation now. Before they did, now they don't need to. And that's why I say this person is a different type of person than how you knew them, Aquarius. This person who you haven't seen in a particular period of time. And you two have grown apart. You two have grown into new people, new personalities, new ways of acting. And so, Aquarius, here's somebody who is taking peeks at you, Aquarius. Did I mention 5 of Swords is Aquarian energy? We also have we have all the sword signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, and Capricorn. This person, Aquarius, I'm not going to say they want to quite show off to, but they feel confident enough to go and put themselves confidently. I know I use that word a few times, but they feel confident enough to go and strut themselves in front of people, regardless of whether or not you want to see them or not. They don't really care what you think, what other people think. But they are curious about what kind of reactions, reception do they get now? If they feel like it, they will do it. And more than anything, this person is trying to prove a point. They want others to acknowledge the growth that they've had. It could be in this energy too, that they have glowed up in some way. Maybe they've glowed up purely on a personal, physical level. Maybe they've glowed up in a level that you could see, like a new car, or if they were at a particular venue, they could go and buy something that would indicate they have some money, some resources. But this person is a little bit into energy of showing off. See how much I've gained, see how much I've grown, see the benefit I have accumulated, the benefit I command now. That's the energy of the person who's watching you. Aquarius, the person who is watching you, as I said, this is someone who you haven't dealt with in a while, a very long time. And Aquarius, this person really wants to see themselves reflected in your eyes. If, Aquarius, you would even look their way. So, Aquarius, understand the person who's watching you is someone who's not necessarily in a rush to get your attention. Depending upon who this person is to you, Aquarius, they could reach out to you by communication. They could go and drop a message in. They could, text message, social media message. I don't know email. I think email doesn't quite look like email. Could be phone call. Could be in person. This person would like to go and get in front of your face. Somewhere. Have you look at them. That's what they want. And they will contact. Figuring out the best way of doing so. No expectation of what it would lead to. They'll leave that to you. But they want you to see who they are now. They want to see how you would receive them now. And let me say too, in this energy, Aquarius, the person who's watching you, Aquarius, as I said, in this energy, this person feels really great about themselves. Like, no joke. They feel really, really fantastic about themselves. Aquarius, we all should feel this great about ourselves. We should. But let me say, for this person's motivations of watching you like this, Aquarius, unfortunately, this person's self-esteem is still linked into external things. This person, Aquarius, feels confident and great because of what they have gained and accumulated. But it's not internal strength, it's external validation that has built up themselves. And admittedly, Aquarius, we do need external support to survive and thrive. Obviously, we have roofs over our heads, we have doors we can close, we have food we need to eat, we have water we need to drink, we have care and supportive company we need to keep. Obviously, the external is important to how we thrive. But I'm just going to say this as well. If this person's support fails, this person's ego will go back to where they were before. If this person, for instance, loses their job and money gets tighter and tighter, their personality and their self-esteem is going to take a big hit. I don't know. Maybe if they have a tragedy in the family, they could have a little bit of a mental breakdown. Yeah, something about this person's energy. They feel great right now. And, as I said, wonderful energy to be in. Kudos to them. But if something just as strong happened to them, a tragedy happens to them, this person would not have necessarily the strength to ride out that tragedy gracefully. So keep that in mind, Aquarius, if somebody comes to you and shows off some new feathers they've grown. Don't I look nice? Don't I look eye-catching? Aren't I great now? I have no doubt that they are everything they feel they are. But I do know as well that if a tragedy, if something doesn't quite go to plan, this person does not have the strength yet to navigate that gracefully. And that's something to think about, Aquarius, because it's important, Aquarius, to have people around you who have the strength to be there with you in the difficult times as well as the good times. Sometimes some people only want to say, oh, only tell me the good news, or you always have bad things happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, life is life. And you're dealing with people who have their own motivations. Sometimes, it's just not purely about business or purely about friendship. Other things come into it, right? I'm not going to go into all those things. And that the only things we can ultimately control is ourselves. And again, how well do we behave under pressure? How gracefully can we behave under pressure? How supportive can we be towards others under pressure? And unfortunately, all of us have various different types of tests that come up. Maybe some of us would go through financial instability. I had a friend once, Aquarius, and in 1 year, she had something like 11 family members die. They died all sorts of ways. It was like crazy. She had family members who passed away in natural incidences, some who died in accidents, one person who died I don't know, medical, like as a result of other people. I forgot if it was medical or I don't think it was murder or anything like that. But some people's sloppiness directly caused, they were like suable offenses. But at the end of the day, she had more than 10 family members die in a year. And she had 2 jobs during that time. And she had no problem getting work, but she had a huge problem keeping the work. Because, too, her job didn't quite want to give her bereavement time after the first couple relatives were passing away. So I'm just saying, some of us, we all have our, difficult things that are going on. And maybe they could be quite unconventional to what one of us would never even normally think of. And anyway, the person who's watching you, I don't know what kind of trials they could themselves be on the path to, but they wouldn't handle it well yet. All right. Yes, Libra reading is at the beginning. I adjusted it so we did Libra and Capricorn, Libra and Aquarius. The quality was so good, I was surprised. I was like, gee, after 11 minutes, or maybe it was sooner, then all of a sudden the connection just cleared up. I guess it was a digital storm. But yeah, so we just wrapped up Aquarius and Libra. Libra starts it off. And then we did Aquarius. Thank you, everybody, for the likes. For the other readings, I did do the other signs, but they're on earlier lives. I think for the Who's Watching You, did I bundle up the earth signs? I think I could have. And I think with this, I've wrapped up so far the Who's Watching You. Anyway, thank you so much for the time, everyone. Thank you so much for the likes. Yes, if you ever see these readings up, just know that the main message starts at the beginning or sometime in the beginning. I am still mystified that the connection cleared up after 10 minutes and I was talking for 3 minutes with no audio, but whatever. Sometimes it's like that. And anyway, I'll be back with another reading at another time. I'll leave this up for a little bit. Until next time, bye-bye. And if you are a Capricorn, do check out, if you're a cross-watch, right? But you can definitely check out the other, let me see, I did do, I think a couple days ago, 4 days ago, I did a Who's Watching You for water signs and earth signs. And yeah, I did it 7 days ago. Did I do something to anticipate for you guys too 4 days ago? I don't know. Let's see. Yes, and I also did something to anticipate. So I think actually this catches me up for everything except the general readings, which I haven't done them in a while. A secret you should know, which I also haven't done in a while. Love readings, which I haven't done in a while. Jupiter readings, I haven't done any Jovian messages for a while either. Something to think about if you have, think about your Jupiter sign, what sign your Jupiter is in. Think about your Cancer sign. What house is your Cancer in, if you have Cancer? And there's some benefits coming your way with a final transit. I think it goes on to the fall, October, September, I forget. But all those are subjects I could do. Right now, we'll just enjoy the first day of summer solstice where I am. It's 5 a.m., 5:01 on the dot. And it's supposed to be a nice, pretty morning. Anyway, I'll be around. Thank you.